Hi everyone, my name is Mateus and today we're going to talk about video games. Sony has been ordered by an Austrian district court to issue refunds for FIFA Ultimate Team, FUT, packs, according to reports. The court has deemed that the FUT packs constitute gambling, and has therefore demanded Sony to repay the amount spent in the purchase of the packs. The ruling comes 2 years after the lawsuit was first filed, in which the plaintiffs had spent hundreds of euros hoping to get football players with high-quality traits. While all the loot boxes come with standard rewards, their main incentive is to offer random players with different qualities. Electronic Arts FUT packs are considered gambling games, or games of chance, that require a license, and both EA and Sony can make their claims against the court's judgment. However, both have yet to issue an official reply. It is worth noting that the lawsuit targeted Sony instead of EA because Sony is the one processing the payment, even though EA offers the controversial packs. This is not the first time Electronic Arts' controversial FUT packs have been questioned, as Dutch Gambling Authority overturned its decision to fine EA $10 million for keeping FUT packs in FIFA last year. While the gaming giant won the appeal to the ruling of the court, the loot box mechanic and FIFA Ultimate Team have been under scrutiny for years. Following the Austrian court's decision, Sony is required to repay the €300 bill, while Electronic Arts is obligated to label FIFA Ultimate Team packs as gambling games with a license requirement. The court's decision against FIFA may bring other titans of the gaming landscape into question too, as Nintendo and Microsoft may be affected in the future. Despite the controversy surrounding loot box mechanics, EA continues to reap huge sums of money with its FUT packs and similar mechanics. However, the FIFA publisher is not allowed to offer loot boxes in select regions like Benelux. It remains to be seen how this ruling will affect the future of gaming companies and their use of loot boxes as a monetization strategy. Fans of the popular first-person shooter game, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, are in for a treat as a new report suggests that the long-rumored Counter-Strike 2 engine update is coming soon. According to journalist Richard Lewis, sources have confirmed that a hypothetical Counter-Strike 2 is indeed real, and the planned release date for the beta is March or early April. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, developed by Valve, has been one of the most popular games on Steam. It was released in August 2012, and since then, it has remained one of the top titles in the competitive shooter space. However, the game has been running on the aging original Source engine, and fans have been eagerly awaiting news of an update. The new game is expected to be powered by the Source 2 engine, a more modern engine that will bring a range of improvements to the game. The game will feature an improved matchmaking system and 128-tick servers, making it more competitive and intended to compete with its major rival in the competitive shooter space, Valorant. It remains unclear whether the two versions of Counter-Strike will coexist or if Valve plans to replace the original Global Offensive entirely. However, the move to Source 2 will likely require higher minimum specifications to run well. If Counter-Strike 2 is indeed released, it would mark at least the fourth new named version of Counter-Strike since its days as a mod. The name, Counter-Strike 2, would be an interesting long-term choice for the series. Counter-Strike Global Offensive is usually the most played game on Steam, with an all-time peak of 1.3 million players. With the release of Counter-Strike 2, it is expected that the game will maintain its position as one of the top titles in the competitive shooter space. Kerbal Space Program 2 has seen a decline in player numbers just a week after its early access release. This comes after criticism from fans, who have complained about a range of technical issues, such as bugs and frame rate problems. Currently, with over 10,000 reviews, Kerbal Space Program 2 has a mixed rating on Steam, with many fans expressing their disappointment with the game's release. This has led to a decline in player numbers, with more players choosing to return to the original Kerbal Space Program game. Independent Steam tracker SteamDB reports that in the last 24 hours, 8,623 players played the original game, compared to just 3,642 players playing Kerbal Space Program 2. Although the sequel saw an all-time peak of 25,724 players at launch, 6,000 more than the original game, it has struggled to retain players and has seen its player count drop to as low as 1,002 players. The development team had promised to address fans' concerns swiftly and stated that by releasing the game in early access, players would get to experience greatly anticipated systems, features, updates, and more as they come online. They also said that they would listen to feedback from the community to make improvements. Warner Bros. Games has announced that the release of Hogwarts Legacy for PS4 and Xbox One has been delayed again. The game, which was initially scheduled to be released on last-generation systems in April, will now be launched on May 5. The publisher has cited the need for more time to deliver the best possible experience on all platforms as the reason for the delay. In a tweet from the Hogwarts Legacy account, the team expressed gratitude for the response to the game from fans worldwide and confirmed that the delay is meant to ensure that the game is the best possible experience for players. Hogwarts Legacy was released on February 10, 2023, for PS5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC platforms. The Nintendo Switch version is set to be released on July 25. The delay of the PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game is not the first time Hogwarts Legacy has faced setbacks. The game was initially scheduled to be released in 2021, but it was postponed to 2022 to provide more development time. The game's publisher, Warner Bros. Games, also cancelled the last-generation versions of another of its titles, Gotham Knights, ahead of its release. Fans of the Dragon Ball Z franchise have something to look forward to with the announcement of a new Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi game, which is currently in development. The announcement was made at the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2023 event on Sunday by Bandai Namco. This new game is a return to a beloved fighting series that hasn't seen a new mainline entry in over 15 years. While there is currently no title, release date, or official announcement regarding the platforms it will be available on, the trailer for the new game has been circulating online, showing a beautifully modeled Goku undergoing a dramatic transformation. Fans of the franchise have been excited about the upcoming release, as it has been a long time since the last mainline game was released. The Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi series first appeared on PlayStation 2 in 2005, followed by 2 sequels in the following years, which also made their way to Wii. The series is known for its massive roster of playable characters, which include various alternate character forms, and the over-the-shoulder 3D camera that gives fights a dynamic feel. The series has also had a few spin-offs, including Tenkaichi Tag Team, Ultimate Tenkaichi, and the 2012 title Dragon Ball Z for Kinect. Fans of the series have been waiting for a new mainline entry for years, and the announcement has generated a lot of excitement. While there is no information on the release date or platforms, fans are eagerly anticipating further updates from Bandai Namco. Arcane Studios has confirmed that Redfall, an upcoming cooperative first-person shooter, will support crossplay across all available platforms. This means that players will be able to team up with friends, regardless of the platform they're playing on. The announcement was made as part of a Q&A with the game's developers. When asked about crossplay, an Arcane spokesperson said, "You can definitely play with your friends on Steam. You join your friends wherever they are." Redfall will be available on May 2, 2023, for Xbox, PC Game Pass, Steam, and the Epic Games Store, allowing players to easily connect with others regardless of how they purchase the game. Fans of the city-building simulation genre have reason to be excited, as developer Colossal Order and publisher Paradox Interactive have announced Cities Skylines 2. The sequel to 2015 Cities Skylines will be exclusive to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and PC, and is set to launch sometime in 2023. The announcement was made during the Paradox Announcement Show 2023, where the companies revealed that Cities Skylines 2 will expand on the city-building mechanics that fans enjoyed from the original. This includes a fully realized transportation and economy system, numerous construction and customization options, and advanced modding capabilities. Players will be able to build any type of city they want, from a small village to a bustling metropolis. Paradox is touting that Cities Skylines 2 will be the most realistic city simulation ever created. Cities Skylines was first released on PC and Mac in 2015, and eventually came to PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Stadia. The game also received a variety of DLC expansions, including major updates such as Cities Skylines After Dark and Cities Skylines Snowfall, as well as a Natural Disasters DLC. The original game recently received a remastered version for PS5 and Xbox Series consoles. However, the announcement of Cities Skylines 2 shows that the franchise is far from done, and fans can look forward to even more in-depth city-building simulation with the upcoming sequel. FORTNITE Chapter 4, Season 2 has been named Mega, according to a tweet by Hypex, a reliable leaker in the FORTNITE community. The tweet contained an image showing graffiti-style katakana characters that read Mega, along with the hashtags #FortniteMega and #GoToMGA. Alongside the name reveal, Hypex has also shared some details about the upcoming season. According to the leaker, the season will feature a Neo-Tokyo aesthetic with futuristic cities and Japanese-themed designs throughout the island map. Additionally, players can expect new weapons, including a katana, and new mechanics, such as transport tubes that players can slide on while holding their weapons. Teaser images have also been shared, which seem to match up with the Neo-Tokyo theme. Hypex and fellow leaker Sheena BR have also claimed that there will be an Attack on Titan X FORTNITE crossover in Chapter 4, Season 2. This crossover is expected to bring an Eren Yeager skin to the game. The leaks about the upcoming season have been numerous, with some claiming that a first-person mode will be added in Chapter 4, Season 2. According to these leaks, the mode will be an optional toggle that can be turned on or off at the tap of a button. The upcoming Nintendo Switch successor may face challenges with backwards compatibility, according to a recent analysis by ModernVintageGamer, a respected content creator and developer at NightDive Studios. The Nintendo Switch currently uses the Tegra X1 chip developed by NVIDIA, which also powers NVIDIA Shield Android TVs from 2015 to 2018. However, if Nintendo were to move away from the Tegra X1 with the new console, as expected, backward compatibility support for current Nintendo Switch software on the new hardware may not be possible without recompiling the games to target the new hardware. The developer suggests several solutions for Nintendo to overcome this issue. The first is software emulation, similar to that found within the Xbox Series consoles, which use their processing power to emulate virtual Xbox and Xbox 360 consoles to play older games. However, this would require significant processing power, which could be a challenge for the new Switch. The second solution is that Nintendo and NVIDIA provide chip compatibility for Tegra X1 on their next chip, which is currently not supported and would require a lot of work. The third suggestion is to include a Tegra X1 chip in every Switch successor, which would increase the cost of production for the new console. Another option suggested by MVG is the use of next-gen patches, which has been rumored to be currently in development for Pokémon Scarlet and Violet in relation to a new Nintendo hardware release. While this rumor is yet to be confirmed, it has gained some legitimacy since it came from a social media poster who correctly revealed information and official names related to the recently announced Pokémon DLC several days ahead of the Pokémon presence during which it was announced. The issue of backwards compatibility is one that Nintendo has faced in the past. While the Wii was compatible with GameCube games, the Wii U had limited backward compatibility with Wii games, and the Nintendo Switch had no compatibility with previous Nintendo consoles. The potential lack of backward compatibility for the new Nintendo Switch successor may affect the purchasing decisions of customers who have invested in current Switch software. However, Nintendo has yet to make any official announcements regarding the release date, specifications, or features of the upcoming console, so it remains to be seen how the company will address this issue. That's all the news for today, Monday, March 6, 2023. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. The links to all the subjects discussed in this video are available in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.